So I've lost the sniper rifle. Oh, well, that's just perfect. That's absolutely perfect, isn't it? Buh! Council is concerned by this setback. I've got a gesture for the council. Please email it to them. I'm holding it up to the camera right now. Oh. Bugger. Oh no, I got the sniper rifle. I kept the sniper rifle. I'm sorry to sound so horribly dismissive of the people that died, but I'm slightly relieved that I kept the equipment at the very least. At the very least, I kept the equipment. That's the important thing. So we've lost. Ah, you know what? What's worse? This was the first day that Defectius got taken on missions that weren't covert ops. He survived all those covert ops, only to die on Operation Burning God. Roswell Ray, 27 kills! 27 kills! MIA and presumed loss. It wasn't MIA and presumed loss. What are you talking about? It wasn't. He was. Oh, because we didn't succeed in the mission. Blah, 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 blah. Get stupid. And then. Schaefer, 2 missions, 2 kills. It's a shame you're doing really well there as well. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. He didn't pick the second wave option. What second wave option? Bloody hell. Well, anyway, Roswell Ray, look at that. Of all of the fallen, you were hands down the man with the kills. Dear, oh dear. 27 kills. That is a lot of kills. 7 missions. I suppose I should be glad you survived this long, shouldn't I? Oh. Defectius should have stayed on as a covert operative. The problem is Defectius was pretty awesome as an engineer as well. He had a lot of good upgrades. You know what the problem is? The nickname. Changed the nickname. And he died. Can we see the second wave screen? How do I do that? How do I see the second wave screen? Oh, second wave settings. Aiming angles. I don't know what that does, but that's it. Not so long war. A shorter version of long war for casual players with fewer overall missions. There you go. That's what I got. God, that sounds painful, doesn't it? This just seems to make life even more miserable. Oh my! Apart from the not so long war, aiming angles has non-binary flanks. I don't quite know what that means, to be honest. Not totally sure. You have a new top engineer, Tao. Tao, you vicious person. You see that, Defectius? Tao, he's already stepping forward and claiming your locker. He's already got his space marked out and claiming the top bunk. Ooh. How long are you streaming? That is it. I am not playing this anymore. I am sulking. I am officially sulking with this game. God, that just went so bad so quickly. I can't believe the Seeker killed my sniper either. That really, really upsets me. Because that just seemed so horribly just random. Oh, payday 2. You think I need to relax by shooting lots of people in the head? Thing is, I've been playing XCOM all night. Probably means I can't hit anyone. My aim would be totally and utterly, completely garbage. You could have easily saved your sniper. Yes, I could have left him at home. That would have been a great plan. Not necessarily particularly helpful. Dear, oh dear. As soon as I was left alone, I knew I was doomed. It's okay. You weren't left alone. You're a sniper. I've left most of my snipers about 20 paces behind everyone else. He was within about 7 or 8 spaces. He was not alone. It's just unfortunate that when the cloaker came, none of his teammates could shoot straight. No, I say unfortunate. It should almost been expected, shouldn't it? You know, we had panic and horrible aiming. There was just, I don't know. God. Like you can't hit anyone anyway. Yeah, you wish. Oh dear. That railing, it killed 2 of us. It killed 1 of you, actually. I think it killed Defectius. The rest of you were actually behind the railing. If you looked at it, there was only 1 space that didn't have the barrier. I didn't notice that. I really didn't. When I saw the railing, I just thought it was half cover all the way along. But apparently Defectius was not in half cover. Did not realise that at all. But you don't hit your guys with a grenade easily. No. Oh. Do I need a hug? No, I need to shoot somebody. Viciously. We need the pistol upgrade ASAP. It's on its way. The only way to save the sniper was to hit Seeker with a grenade. Yes, I'm sure that... Actually, that might not have been the dumbest idea. That, in retrospect, hitting with an AP grenade, the sniper only had 2 health, though. The sniper only had 2 health left, was it? Or was it 4? I don't know, actually. I can't remember. I'll have to check the video footage. I have to remember, see how much the sniper had. If the sniper had enough to survive a grenade, you might actually have been right. Just lob a grenade from the other side or something at the thing and just... That would have been a bit daft, wouldn't it? Oh, not enough bacon. Replace pistols with shotguns. Yes and no. There is something to be said about shotguns in that particular scenario, because yeah, he would have had a better chance to hit. I think, isn't it a very good chance to hit on Seekers? And it would have one-shotted it. I mean, there is something to be said for that. But then and I suppose you could also point out that at the moment, until I get my upgrades, the pistols are next to useless. I mean, the problem with the pistols is they very often do 0 damage. Because you hit, it does 1 damage, and then the opponent has 1 armor. And so you get a net of 0. Once I get the upgrades, the pistols might become more useful, but at the moment, you might have a point in thinking sawn-off shotguns. Sawn-off shotguns, especially on the sniper, actually, just in case you get cloaked and someone knocks the Seeker off from a distance, and then the sniper can finish it. Maybe it's a possibility, I suppose. But it's also more encumbrance. I mean, I think here's what I have to say. This mod seems to make it so that there's no one thing to do, and there's no one set of equipment you can have, and there's no one set tactic. They seem to have made it, well, almost realistic in that you can have one great tactic that's working superbly, and then one little thing will happen, and that tactic is just total garbage, and you're up the creek, so to speak. I mean, look how fast the Exalt mission went sideways. It was going so smoothly and so well, and then I extended fraction too much, and it all went sideways. Now I managed to recover that one, but in this one, I didn't push it too far. Now I did leave Defectius out of cover, so I got Defectius killed by not putting him in cover because I didn't realise it. But everyone else, there was very little I could do at that point. Because at the point where Defectius died, I had a VIP who was panicking, and I had to move everyone back together and then move them as a group inside. And I just didn't get that far. Because I think it was literally the turn after Defectius was killed, we had a cloaker hit the sniper, so everyone was trying to free the sniper. And, you know, it all went to complete crap. And that, I think, is what this mod does very well, is it just... Anytime you think you're safe, anytime you think it's going well, you probably should stop. Because something bad is about to happen. Can you make a mod list with all the mods you have in the Skyrim videos? You just check my last Let's Play. That's the mods I play with. Just check them. My last Let's Play. That mod list is what I played with last. So that is basically it. Okay, give me a second, guys. Yeah, sorry about that. You need the squad size 2 upgrade as soon as possible. 1 more soldier is always helpful. That is also probably true. But I'll bet you any money. I will bet you any money that I'll still have missions like that just go totally... Yeah, the best tactic is to have several tactics and be flexible. Which in a way is kind of what happened there anyway. I had one plan. I was going to go up one side. And then everything went to complete crap. And we just all ran inside the building, holed up, and weathered it until we had control. Then once we moved control, started with the original plan of creeping up. And in the Exalt mission, the original plan was to move to one side and defend it. But then halfway through, it became obvious that I could probably hold the middle ground. And that was the better of the scenarios. And honestly, I actually think in that particular case, I probably should have stayed there. I think I could continue to hold both rooms from the middle. Just from the way it was panning out there. So... wow. What a mission. The best tactic is 6 Rocketeers. Oh, adding soldiers also increases the opposition forces? Really, does it? Yeah, it's like actual war. To be honest, true, it is. Thank you, Gargobit. Oh god, that game is such a stressy game, though. It really is such a... It's like, oh my god. Yeah. I should buy 3 soldiers to replace you. That does seem a little horrible. That really does seem a little horrible, but unfortunately, you're also probably correct. Let's have a look at the soldier list. We've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16... We've actually got quite a few active ones. And a lot of them are unnamed. So it does look like next time we are almost certainly going to be having a fair amount of new subscribers, unless I've got a lot... Oh! Sloth is about to rejoin us. Avenger, Assault, nice. We're getting Assault back in a day, which is nice. We're getting Average Ogre back in 1 day. We're getting Scrooge, our medic, and in 2 days another Assault. We're actually getting the return of the Assaults, which sounds kind of like either a song or a movie. Yeah, we do have a lot of wounded. Maybe Gopher should stop playing Long War. Well, I don't think so. I mean, the thing is here is... I don't know. I've got to say, it's a mixed... I think I've got mixed feelings on whether or not Long War makes a good stream candidate. It's not as relaxing or as fun as playing the normal game on normal. I mean, the last game we played... I mean, could you imagine the last game I played if I'd lost this many soldiers? If I'd lost this many soldiers in the normal game, that would have been horrible. I think, did we lose? I can't remember how many we lost, but I mean, it was just so much more relaxing. It's so much easier going. This mod makes it much more frustrating and irritating, but at the same time, you got to admit that's kind of half the tension here. It's the whole tension of knowing that at any second now you might die. When those soldiers go on that mission, is it going to be a mission that turns out like the Exalt one with everyone high-fiving and say, oh, that was awesome, that was brilliant? Or is it going to be a mission like the last one where we just sit around thinking, what just happened? We lost 3 guys and we didn't even achieve the mission. 3 guys didn't even achieve the mission. And yes, here's when Defectius died, if I could have run away, I would have run away. If that had been a mission, well, when Defectius died, I certainly would have pulled back. I don't know whether I would have run away. I'm probably lying to you, aren't I? I very rarely run away. I probably wouldn't have. But I would have entertained the idea. I would have considered it. Because the second Defectius died, I suddenly felt how bad things were going to go. I don't know what it was. Everything just suddenly, you know, we had these guys coming in from this direction. We had Seekers. And when the Seeker took the sniper out, I just thought, oh, we're going to get a squad wipe. I mean, be honest, how many of you thought we were going to lose all 7? Because I was seriously thinking, God, this is going to be the first squad wipe. We're actually going to have a squad wipe. I could have seen that going completely sideways. Just everyone dying in an instant. Was this the first failed mission? No, haven't we? Didn't we lose someone else on an escort mission? Didn't we lose Zhang? Have we got Zhang? No, we kept Zhang. We kept Zhang. Yes, no, we kept Zhang. No, we got Zhang. I don't know, actually. Johnsy, I thought we would wipe. Yeah, I mean, 2 years. This is how long it's going to take to finish. Maybe, yeah. Unless I wipe. Unless I lose it at the base. You say 2 years. There's a very good chance I will lose this just by losing all of the bases. I can literally see. I can literally see the this, you know, losing every single country until we lose the last country and boom, it's over. So it might not last that long. At the moment, we're on a real downward spiral. Odd moments of forward momentum and then huge moments of horror like that. We don't have any more officers. We don't have a captain yet. We don't have a single bloody captain. But I don't want to give up because honestly, you never know. I mean, that's the thing. You never know. Oh, let's get out of here because he's annoying.
Some nut calling himself Commander Straker has been all over the news ranting about shadow operatives.
Yeah, but he can't be talking about us because our operatives are hardly shadowy, are they? Make a lot of noise and are not hugely effective sometimes. So we lost the whole whale mission. Yes, we lost the whale mission. Of course we did. But I've got to be 29 subs died in the regular XCOM, 38 in Long War. So that's 29 subs died in the regular mission, in the regular game, in the entirety of it. This is Long War mod, 38 have already died, and I must point out, we've not even got an alien stunned. We haven't got an alien in captivity yet. We haven't progressed at all. We might be having the base defense soon. We've not even got there, and we've already... this is just... Because here's the thing, though. We got to carry on, because you never know. And how amazing would it be to be able to get to the end after this sort of a start? You got to admit, if we can do that, if we can get... I mean, to be honest, even if we can get to, you know, past the base defense, what an achievement that will be, I think. I think if we can survive the base defense, if we can make it to the base defense, if we can make it to the base defense, I will actually consider that a minor success. So yeah, the air war will get better. The thing that I think I've learnt about so far, it's kind of like in the last game I learnt that I needed to make laser weapons ASAP. What I think I've learnt in this is, yes, I still need to make lasers ASAP, and possibly the armor, but the second I get anything that will help the air war, I need to up the game on the air war, and I need, probably, as we're doing now, oh god, that's a point actually, we're 26th of June, I might want to think about the satellite soon. As I really could do with getting the air and space bonus and getting some ships very, very early on. Get myself laser cannons. I need to get laser cannons and 6 ships, I think. Really take control of the air war. Really, really take control very aggressively. When that's one of the huge differences between this and the vanilla game, I think. The air war in the vanilla game was pretty much not an issue. It was, well, let's be honest, it was a bit of a non-entity, you know. I think I very rarely lost a ship. Did I lose any ships? I think I did lose a ship. I had some damaged. And I don't think any of the aliens got away. I think I managed to down most of the aliens, or if not all of them. Whereas in this one, they've got the air superiority well and truly. Base defense isn't scripted in Long War. Oh, brilliant. I'm going to die. Would you restart if you fail? If I fail the game, will I restart playing XCOM? I might. I don't know. Don't know for sure. But I've got so many other games I want to try. But I might. Who knows? I might try it again. But it depends how long it takes. I mean, if we're streaming this for half a year and then it fails, I'm not totally sure we want to keep... But who knows? By then it might be a little institution. The Friday night XCOM streams might just be an institution that we just don't want to quit doing. But there are other games like this I could try. There are definitely a lot of other games to try that are of this nature. Nation-building games or... you know, base building games, all sorts. There's even a, is it called Xenonauts or something? Exonauts, or somebody bought me that game. It's a recreation of the original XCOM game, so that would definitely be worth playing. And then there are, you know, there are other ones. I think is it Space Engineers or something? Something kind of like, you know, I mean, FTL's this kind of game in a way, except it's more of a one-night thing. So. Anyway, that is me done for the night, I think. Sims with subscribers. Yeah. Can you do that? Can you do Sims and have like a house with like 70 or 80 people? Try and make a student DOS house and keep everyone alive in Sims. That would almost be entertaining, wouldn't it? The Sims. Name all the Sims after subscribers and just try and get as many of them as possible living in one building. Oh, I used to love the Sims. Sims 1 and Sims 2, actually. I used to love them. If you have an overstuffing mod. There are mods! Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? There are mods for it. Okay. That's kind of cool. Alright, yes. So, yes, I'm done for the night. I don't think I'll be playing Payday 2 after this. I'm pretty damned tired. I've got a reasonably busy weekend. I didn't finish all of the videos I wanted to make this week because of a few things, including today's visit to the Norwegian Gaming Expo, Spiel Expo, where I got to play a little bit more of Dragon Age Inquisition, and that kind of interrupted the videos a little. I was actually hoping to have a Skyrim mod sanctuary this week, but I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to get one. I got a few mods that I thought were pretty cool for it, but again, like I said, because I've been doing things like this expo, it's kind of interrupting. I'm not totally sure I will do many things like this. I thought it would be fun to try them, do a few events and stuff, but I don't think I'll make it a regular thing. Maybe I'll do next year. Maybe I'll do Eurogamer or something next year. But it's just not really my thing. I don't review things. I'm not really a journalist, even though that's how I got introduced when I turned up. I'm not really a journalist. I'm a game player. So it's kind of fun to go to the expo once, but honestly, I'm not totally sure it's me. Unless I know something's coming. If there's a Fallout 4 announcement going to be at Eurogamer, then yeah, maybe I'll be there. So, but it did interrupt this week a tiny bit. But I got a Skyrim, a Skyrim mod video out, which I'm glad. So I'm glad I got at least one of them out. So yeah. Dragon Age score 1 to 10, 8, 6. At the moment, undecided. I'm gonna upload another video. I did some rambling. I did a 20-minute ramble video earlier, and I've got very mixed feelings now on Dragon Age. It's one of those things, if there's one side of Dragon Age Inquisition I think is brilliant, and the other side I'm not sure about at the moment. I'm not totally sure about it. So I love the story, I liked the atmosphere, the whole build-up, the prelude was great, but the playing I did today, I had a few minor qualms about it, a few minor little things, but that might be because I was playing on an Xbox. It might have been because I was playing on an Xbox, and I just don't like consoles, and I don't like the way console games implement things. Like, I don't like the menu system on consoles. You know, when you give when you want to activate your abilities, you have to press this trigger, and it pops up a little wheel in the bottom, and you press the right button. And whereas with the PC version, you clicked on an icon that was on the bottom, you know, and you could hotkey it to 1 to 10 and stuff like that. So a lot of it might be the fact that I was having to go through a bloody controller, and it just doesn't feel right for RPGs for me, especially not Dragon Age type games. I know I'm a PC snob. I am a PC snob. And how's the dialogue system? The dialogue system seems fine, to be honest with you. The dialogue system seems very reminiscent of Mass Effect to me, except you get a bit more feedback as to how you're going to deliver a line, which is nice. You get some indication that you're going to be friendly when you say this, or you're going to be aggressive when you say this. I did like that. I quite liked that. Oh god, I've got ME3. Of course I've got ME3. Mass Effect. So I'm a big BioWare fan. Some people seemed surprised. In the original video I posted, some people seemed really surprised that I would actually like Dragon Age Inquisition, going so far as to say, oh, they paid you to say this. Like that it was amazing that I liked a Dragon Age game, which means people have not been paying attention. I'm a huge BioWare fan. Two of my favourite RPGs of all time are Dragon Age Origins and Mass Effect. Well, Mass Effect 2 especially. Loved Mass Effect 2. Loved it. Absolutely adored it. I loved Mass Effect 1 as well. I loved Mass Effect 1. But contrary to what a lot of people were like with Mass Effect, I loved the direction they took. Well, I could criticise certain parts of Mass Effect 2. I could. I didn't like the lack of things like customization and armor and so on. But at the same time, I kind of appreciated the simplification and the streamlining of that side of it. I mean, it was a bit silly in Mass Effect 1 that you could carry like 50 sets of armor and stuff. But what I liked about Mass Effect 2 was the fact that they really differentiated between the classes, and they made the playstyles for the classes massively different. I mean, the way you played the soldier was totally different to the way you would play the engineer, for example. And they were all, you know, it would depend on what difficulty you played. Probably if you played on normal difficulty, you could play them all the same. But if you played it on Insanity, you had to have completely different playstyles. And so that made it so that there were minimum of 6 playthroughs on Mass Effect 2. So I loved it. Loved it. Did you even play DA2? I didn't play DA2. I didn't get time when it first came out. And then by the time I did get time, it was one of those games that really got a lot of flack. And so I thought, okay, I'll skip. So ME3 ending was horrible. I wouldn't say it was horrible. I wouldn't say the ME3 ending was horrible. I'd say it was meh. It was just meh. It was not really an ending. Do you know what? Do you know what the ME3 ending was? It was the Battlestar Galactica ending. It was this kind of what? Just really, that's what you came up with? I mean, to call it horrible is just, it's almost giving it too much credit. It was just so, you just sat there at the end of it thinking, what? You know, I mean, if you ever get, so I've had some games that ended badly, and you think, oh god, I just really didn't like that ending. Mass Effect 3, you didn't even have that. You just sat there with this kind of dumb stupor on you at the end of Mass Effect 3 with like, I don't get it. Or really? Really? I mean, that was it. And that was the same with Battlestar Galactica. And Lost. Did anyone make it to the end of Lost? Oh god, did that go completely off the rails? That jumped the shark and some, didn't it? You get to the end and you realise the... spoiler alert, turn off if you're watching Lost and you don't want to know what the last season was, apart from that it was crap. The entire last season was the afterlife? Really? Just... I don't know, just... It's like people are sat around going, okay, what can we do? Because I could have come up with a billion better plots for Lost. Really? Just... Do I want to play Mass Effect 3 co-op? Probably not, actually. It's never appealed to me, even though a lot of people have said it was fun. Maybe I'll try it one day, but honestly, to me, Mass Effect is just a single-player experience. I think it is. And it's probably not my kind of game if it's PvP. You can't jump. You probably can't. Look, here's the thing. You've seen the sort of games I tend to gravitate towards in PvP. They tend to be a lot more free movement. They tend to be, games like Payday, even TF2. I sort of like, although there are certain aspects of TF2 that don't work well with my style. Quake, Counter, those type of games, the Half-Life games, those sort of things are quite light. But Left 4 Dead. But stuff like role-playing games, multiplayer, I'm not quite... Try it's a lot of fun. I might try it, but I got so many other things. It's PvE. Oh, when it's PvE? Co-op? I get... no. Again, Mass Effect is the story. It's the story. I mean, don't get me wrong, I did enjoy the challenge of playing all the classes on Insanity. It's good fun. I love the skill aspect of it. I love having to sort of maximize everything and get everything working well, your team working well together, blah, blah, blah. But Mass Effect is not about, having a laugh with the mates. Like with Payday. I mean, I don't know if you guys watch me stream the Payday, but if you watch us doing the Hoxton run, messing around, all that type of fun, that for me... No, I'm not going to do that in Mass Effect. I don't want to ruin the mystique of Mass Effect by running around trying to get tased. So... It's just me. I mean, here's the thing. I'm one of these people who really wasn't that keen on co-op Borderlands. I may be one of the few people who just thinks Borderlands is better solo. Just... there you go. Sloth wants another nickname. Alright. We can sort that. Oh. What about Far Cry? I played Far Cry. I think I might have. I played Far Cry 2. Quite liked Far Cry 2 actually. I thought that was pretty good. And I'm beginning to relax on my Ubisoft stance ever since they came out and said, yeah, maybe we were idiots with the whole DRM thing. And assuming they have fixed the issues with the DRM, and because here's what I will not do. I'm not going to pirate a game just so I can play it. I'm not going to pirate a game. I object to doing that. I know that probably sounds weird on the internet, but I am not going to pirate a game just so I can play it. And that was sort of the option I had with Assassin's Creed 2. And if that has got better, if the DRM is nowhere near as stupid as it was, and it was mind-numbingly stupid, literally designed by a brainless gerbil who never, ever spent any time on the internet, then yeah, I suppose, why not? Far Cry 3, Far Cry 4. I've not played Far Cry 3 either. What do you think of DA Origins? It is awesome. Dragon Age Origins is absolutely superb. To be honest, just a brilliant game. I loved my first playthrough. I loved the ending. I took the sacrifice ending on my first playthrough. I loved that game. I loved it. Was it Shale, the Golem? Shale? Oh god, I didn't get her till my second playthrough because she was DLC. Oh god, she was awesome. She was just awesome. Go over your integrity as a model. It's nothing to do with integrity. I don't like pirating games. I mean, there's the moral issue of, you know, I like to pay people for the work they do, but it's not that. I mean, I'd already bought Assassin's Bloody Creed 2. From a moral point of view, I could have pirated the game and said, well, I already paid for it. So it's not really stealing. I already bought the game. I'm only pirating it because I can't bloody play the legal version. The DRM won't let me bloody play. If I get the pirate version, I can play it. It wouldn't have been a moral issue or an integrity issue. I just object to having to pirate something to be able to play it when I've already bought it. It was insanity, that was. She was called Shale, wasn't she? Yeah, pigeons. Oh dear. What? You didn't know Shale was female? Are you kidding? Have you heard the voice? Really? What? You didn't know Shale was female? Really? She sounds like... I don't know. I always picture her as a kind of psychopathic matron nurse or something. She just got that stern voice like something from one of the old Carry On movies, Matron. I've not played Divinity Original Sin or Shadowrun, no. Stop spoiler, what's Shell sexist? What do you mean a spoiler? It's not a spoiler. It's not a bloody spoiler. Shale and the pigeons, yeah. Oh my god. Yes! Her backstory is one of the DLCs. Well, the DLC you get her in is the backstory. Okay, anyway. Shale sounds like a dude. Big dude. Seriously? Maybe they changed the voice or something from when I played, because... Oh, maybe. Do you think they use different voices? Do you think they use different voices? Ah. I wonder. Because in my game, I mean, she had a kind of deep voice, but she sounded more like a woman trying to put on a deep voice sort of thing, or that type of thing. She sounded like she was a woman who just sort of tried to speak a little down or something. But to me, to me. But anyway. Are you waiting for Skywind? Of course I am. Yes. Golems don't have gender. Yes, I have thought of playing Evil Within, definitely. But of course I am stretched a little thin at the moment. But yeah, it's definitely on my radar. Okay, it must be different versions around the world. Either that, or some of you have got bad ears for gender, but that's perfectly reasonable as well. But to me... I don't know, she wasn't I mean... She didn't sound like, you know, a dainty fairy type female. As I said, the voice always made me think of a matronly like nurse, you know, from the Carry On shows, sort of coming in and telling everyone off and giving them a stern look. She kind of sounds like an optician that I have, but a little deeper. Mm. How can you play Alien Isolation? Doesn't it scare you? Yes, that's kind of the point. That is the point. I tell you what, I'm going to close everything down. Yes, I'll save the game. Stop worrying. Stop worrying about that. I will save the game. Oh. If my mouse... Come on, I've just replaced the battery. Saving, saving, saving. I'm going to save it twice. She was voiced by a woman named Geraldine Blecker, which would tend to suggest that she sounded female as well, wouldn't it? I think. Like a slightly camp male. Well, I suppose, I mean, you could argue, yes, I suppose you could argue a camp male voice or a gruff female voice would be kind of similar. But to me, I never listened to the voice and thought camp male. I always thought low female, always. So, I don't know. Any idea when the next stream will be? No idea. It might be Sunday, but I wouldn't guarantee at the moment. So, let's have a look. I have to upload that video, don't I? Yes, I do. Yeah, my Dragon Age ramble has in fact finished rendering, but it's not uploaded because I didn't want to clog the stream up. So I'm afraid it's going to have to be out tomorrow. It is just me rambling and talking about what I saw today, and let's get that uploading now. Yeah, the dialogue between the Dragon Age Origins characters was absolutely superb. I think the dialogue between the Inquisition characters is going to be pretty good as well. I mean, it's too early to tell. It is too early to tell, but they've got that same kind of banter. They've got that same kind of dialogue. In some cases, it's a little more serious. The dialogue they have is a little more serious, but then I suppose Dragon Age Origins did have its serious moments as well. I'm beginning to miss Origins, actually. If I had time, I probably would do another playthrough of that. That was one of those games, just really, really sort of got under my skin. Same as Mass Effect. I'm a sucker for that kind of game. I am a sucker for the BioWare RPGs, I will admit it. I still can't get over people being surprised that I liked the game, at least from what I saw on the prologue. It's just... Oh dear. If you're in a real-life horror situation, how long would you survive? Probably quite long. Longer than most of the people commenting on my videos. Apparently I have a much more finely attuned survival instinct than most of them. They're like, you're moving too slowly, just run down the corridor, the alien won't get you. I'm like, here's what would happen if it was real life and I was alongside most of the people making comments. I'd be going, yeah, you just run down that corridor, off you go. And while the alien was chasing them, I'd be sneaking off in the opposite direction. Oh dear. What was your favourite DAO backstory? You mean the starting stories? Oh, that's a good question, and I honestly couldn't tell you for sure. I did like the City Elf one. It really did you know, it gave you a good reason to kind of dislike the humans. It was an interesting playthrough, that one. And I liked the castless dwarf one as well. I mean, I tend to have a tendency to enjoy playing the less sexy looking characters and less sexy seeming races, you know. So I don't play the suave, sophisticated characters. I tend to play the downtrodden a bit more, and I liked those. The Dwarf Noble I didn't try. I didn't try the Dwarf Noble one. Tried the Human Noble. I tried the Mage one, obviously. I think I tried with an Elf Mage. I don't know if I tried with another Mage, but it's always the same, isn't it, regardless of race? I tried the Dalish Elf. I tried the City Elf. I tried the Castless Dwarf. What else did I try? I think I tried 2 City Elves. One was the Mage, one was a Rogue. Yeah, I can imagine the Dwarf Noble was pretty fun, actually, especially when you did the Dwarf City mission. That would have been pretty cool. That's one of the things I'm a little disappointed with the Dragon Age Inquisition, actually. I have a feeling there are no backstories. I only found out about that today. Actually, not even... I found out about that while I was doing some work after I got back from the expo. Apparently, it doesn't matter what race you start. The beginning is always the same. And I'm a little disappointed about that. I forgot to mention that in my ramble. Probably should have added that to my ramble, actually. I mean, it's not the end of the world. Mass Effect didn't have any backstories worth talking about, really. You picked a backstory and that was it. But it does look like Inquisition. It doesn't matter whether you're a mage. It doesn't matter whether you're a Canary or an elf or a human. The start is always identical. So, and just in case you're wondering what race I'm going to play when I play a Let's Play of Dragon Age Inquisition, the answer is anything but Canary. Because every man and his dog will be playing Canary. Probably most of the mages. It will be literally the most played race and probably class, Canary Mage. Just everyone's going to do it. Absolutely everyone's going to do it. So, probably not going to do that. I quite fancy a human warrior. But I also tend to like playing healers in that game. It depends how you play, at least with Dragon Age Origins. The healer character, that was my first playthrough. I played an elven healer character. Allows you to do the kind of commander thing. You naturally pull back anyway, so it makes kind of sense. Whereas if you're playing the warrior, the tank, you're at the front of the combat. You almost want to feel like you're at the front of the combat. Whereas if you're the healer at the back of the combat, pulling back into a sort of helicopter view, looking down, almost feels right. That's as a healer, you're trying to pull back and see what everyone's doing. So it actually lends itself well to immersion for a game that you spend a lot of time in that sort of top-down look. But Dragon Age Inquisition seems to spend more time in the over-the-shoulder cameras. So I don't know. Have not decided. What do you think about the no healing in Dragon Age Inquisition? I've only just kind of really got to terms with it. I'm not particular. It's not quite as simple as that. There are some spirit magic trees that seem to help heal you or resurrect you, and you get loads of potions. I've not quite got my head around it. I've not played enough yet to really understand what the hell is going on with the combat system. The combat system's beginning to... I start obviously playing a lot today, began to feel a little... That's where I think the big difference is between Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age Inquisition at the moment. My feeling towards the combat is I haven't quite got there with it yet. I'm undecided on the combat. It's a lot of fun, and it is a lot of fun, but I'm not totally sure it fits my idea of what Dragon Age should be. Now, that could just be me being a little judgmental because I'm being the old, oh, well, it was good enough for Dragon Age Origins, it should be good enough for every other game forever and ever. Well, maybe there's a little bit of that. So I don't want to be the old man grumpy. So I'll give the combat a chance, but I don't know. I haven't decided. I quite liked Dragon Age Origins combat system. I liked the way you... It was very, in many, many ways, very stereotypical party-based RPG, and I quite liked that. So we'll have to see. Spoiler alert, you don't play a warden. Don't know if you knew that. You're not part of the Grey Wardens, you're part of the Inquisition. It's not really a big spoiler. I will not tell you what your character is or what makes him special, because that's a bit of a secret. I will not tell you that. I will not even tell you the title, although it's probably common knowledge and popular knowledge, but I will not tell you why you've got that title. That is all revealed to you in the prologue. And that, to me, so far of what I've seen, is the best part of the game. I really did enjoy the start, the way it. I enjoy the idea of the story, mostly because it kind of leaves you not totally sure what's going on at the same time as you've got the story, but you're a bit kind of what? It's got that mystery element, and I quite like that. So it's got that. I really do want to find out how things are going to happen. So you'll have to see. You can zoom in and out of the tactical view quite far. My only worry is I don't think you can zoom out that far if you're indoors. I think if you're indoors, there might actually be a ceiling cap, which I think might be a worry. I think that might actually be a worry on indoor areas. So I didn't get to test it though, because the testing I did today was on console, and the tactical view is really hard to use, in my opinion, on the console. It seems to be more designed for mouse users. So, and I only went into 1 or 2 indoor areas, and I wasn't in combat at any time. So, well, we're going to have to see about that. Pretty sure that will get modded. I'm hoping so. Although, again, I have mentioned that in the video I'm uploading now. The modding might be a little more difficult than for for Dragon Age Inquisition. I don't know how hard it was to mod Dragon Age 2, but the Dragon Age 2 mods on Nexus seem to be not as advanced as the ones for Dragon Age Inquisition. So I think that the engine is different. And the developers did say to me that they said, well, we don't support modding. We're not against it, but we do think the engine's probably hard for you to mod. And, you know, just because it's hard to mod doesn't mean we won't. I'm sure people will. I can tell you, you probably won't need texture overhauls and stuff like that. The textures seem pretty good, actually, pretty high. I mean, I'm sure someone will do texture overhauls. What I would like to see are some user interface overhauls. And believe it or not, I would like to see some effect overhauls. The melee effects are a little... You just watch the video. I talk about it in the video. So... Do you think you'll have enough time to finish the 2 parts of The Witcher before the 3rd part will show? Probably not. Does it matter? Is it important? I'm not worried about playing Witcher 3 when it first comes out. I mean, I know a lot of people do that. You play your new games the instant they come out because you get a lot more people viewing your Let's Plays, but I'm not particularly worried about that. I don't do my Let's Plays to attract new subscribers, to be honest. My Let's Plays are more there for the old subscribers. They're there for the old subscribers. I think that my tutorial videos and my modding videos are the videos that attract the new subscribers anyway. I think, you know, people find me because they need help with something, and they stay because they just find some of my videos entertaining. So, you know, I'm not trying to ride the wave of popular games. The only reason I'm playing Alien Isolation this early is someone bought it for me, and I just thought, oh, I really want to play that. I mean, I will play it, I'm sure. I'm sure as long as I continue to enjoy Witcher and Witcher 2, and I'm enjoying Witcher, actually. I am enjoying it. It's a little weird. And the hero's a little annoying. There are times I want to smack him around a bit. But, what about your Deus Ex guides? I've already done one Deus Ex video, and it wasn't really a guide. It was just showing people how I managed to do the pacifist mission and save Pilot Milak. Private Ryan. Yeah, I saved the pilot, didn't I? That was actually a really, really tough thing to do, you know. Irritated me. Would you play World of Warcraft? Probably not. Someone said they'd unsub if I started playing WoW. Alright, I'll start playing WoW. I gotta see that happen. I gotta see someone unsub because I start playing a random game. I'm sure there are people out there who will actually do it, but I suspect Tedinzio is not one of them. However, we can test the theory out. I used to play EverQuest 2, but those days are long gone for me, as far as I'm concerned. Will I ever do Minecraft? You know what? One of these days, I've got to try Minecraft. I've got to try it. I've got to see what all the hype is. I've got to try and get my head around that game because it still boggles me a little bit. But yeah, why not? I suppose I could try anything. I'm pretty easygoing on these things. I liked EverQuest. It's tough. No, I don't want to update Dreamfall Chapters Steam. Dreamfall Chapters, I saw them. They were at the expo today. They were at the expo. Apparently they're a Norwegian firm. I think they're an offshoot of Funcom, who are also a Norwegian firm. So there you go. If you like to build stuff out of Legos, you like Minecraft. I used to love Lego. My kids love Lego. My son adores Lego. He absolutely adores Lego. A Lego fire station. Yeah, no, EverQuest was the MMORPG for hardcore people. It really was. I mean, EverQuest 2, people used to say, oh, play EverQuest 2 if you're hardcore and play WoW if you're casual, which was a load of rubbish. EverQuest 2 was so casual, it was scary, and it went more and more casual as it tried to compete with WoW, which I always said was a completely bad decision. You've got WoW that serves the people who want super casual. You've got EverQuest that serves all the people who want ridiculously, insanely hardcore. And you had EverQuest 2 that was kind of somewhere in between. Move EverQuest 2 towards either of the other two, and it's not really going to do that well, which I don't think it did. So there you go. The stream winding down. God, yeah. I'm half asleep. Should have gone to bed about an hour ago. We're just chatting now. I loved EQ until Sony ruined the game. When was that? I mean... EQ had rude jerks, and that's why I refused to play. I hate to tell you this, that's every single MMORPG that's ever been created in the history of ever, and will ever be created in the history of future. So there you go. Is EverQuest good? No. Well, yes, but no. Depends what you want. It's like asking, is WoW good? It's good at doing what it does. EverQuest was very good at doing what it did. And I had a lot of fun doing it. And it was, it was one of the big ones, one of the first big ones. But at the same time, there's a lot wrong with it. I mean, in its early days, MMORPGs were massively exciting. When EverQuest first came out, it was so exciting. It really was. To be able to play that sort of thing, and, it was amazing. It was such an experience. But now MMORPGs are just literally, they've been done. They've been done, and I don't know why anyone continues to do them beyond the social aspect. To me, those games now are no different to Payday 2. They're just slightly longer, really. Payday 2 is, in a way, a mini version of them. You grind out skills, you get achievements for doing insanely stupid thing. I think the difference being is Payday 2 is just a lot more casual and a lot more random fun with a close group of friends, whereas MMORPGs are, far more serious and demanding fun, but with a larger group of friends. Got nothing against them, but I just do not have the time to put into them. I mean, if I was to play a game like that, I'd have to put... It was the same with Elder Scrolls Online. You need to be playing those every night, I think. A couple of hours a night. And I just don't have that time. If I did that, I wouldn't play Payday, I wouldn't play XCOM, I wouldn't play any of the other games that get gifted to me. It would take time. So, no. Any opinions on Steam versus Origin versus Uplay? Yeah, Steam is better. Origin's okay. Uplay is okay, I suppose. I've not. Here's the thing: I've not actually had any problems with either Uplay or the Origin thing. Uplay didn't exist when I was last playing Ubisoft games, and the only Ubisoft game I've played since Uplay came out was Watch Dogs, because someone bought it for me, and I've never really had any problems with Uplay. The DRM issues I had with Ubisoft predate Uplay by quite some time, and they were much worse than the problems I heard about with that. So I've got nothing against the Origin thing. I've got nothing against Uplay. I just think Steam's got it right at the moment. They're just doing it correctly. The mentality they have, they've got a very casual DRM, but it really is so lightweight. I have never once had an issue with the Steam DRM. I know some people have got stories about it, but it's very... I think as the guy that's sort of... I can't remember his name. Anyway, one of the big Gage, whatever. You guys probably know it better than me, and they'll appear in the chat any second. He basically said that DRM doesn't work. And Steam, to me, they just got the model right. What they did, and I can tell you now, Steam has done more to fight piracy than anything else ever, because, as I said, they got the model right. What they decided to do was make the service worth paying for. They made it so easy to buy games, so much easier than going to the shop and buying one. They made it worthwhile buying games. They had special offers, so you end up buying games that you just, I mean, there are games that are still being sold that would never be sold. I mean, maybe they'll be in some shop in a bargain basement bucket or something, $5 for this game, but the maker of the game would probably not even know that's being sold, because, of course, they sold that box to someone a long, long time ago, and, maybe you'd get one or two sales on this every few years. But with Steam, some of these old games have revivals, they have, little sales come on, and they're still making money. It's a great model. It's a great model for the developers, for the publishers, and it's a great model for the consumer. That's the thing. What Steam did was they made it easier to use Steam than anything else. There's just literally a win straight there. Buying a game, easier on Steam than going to a shop. Win. I mean, I'm sure Origin and Uplay are getting almost as good as Steam, but the difference being they only do their own games, whereas Steam has such an array of games that it's like... Here's the thing. You go to Origin to find games that you can't find on Steam, usually. I'm sure there are some Origin fans out there. I'm sure there are some Ubisoft fans out there who live on those platforms. But let's face it, almost every gamer has Steam running. PC gamer has Steam running. And some gamers will have Uplay and Origin running, but most of us have it running when we want to play that particular game. So... It's just, you know, and it is the mentality of Valve and Steam is just the right one. It really is the right one. Convince people to buy the product by making the product worth buying. The absolute opposite mentality of Ubisoft a few years ago, which was make people buy the product by making pirating it super painful. Or no, making pirating it more painful than buying it. And they didn't even succeed because buying it was more painful than pirating it. But it's just the mentality. Right, let's make it harder to pirate than it is to play, rather than let's make it easier to play than it is to pirate. And they may sound like they're the same thing, but they're not. They're coming from the opposite direction. And you could see this in all the way they discuss this. Oh, well, we had 1 million units pirated last year. That's 1 million units that were pirated. Yeah, but that doesn't tell you anything about how many sales you lost because of those pirate. I mean, yeah, 1 million of them might have been pirated, but perhaps only 1,000 of the people who pirated it would have bought it. Maybe it would be 10,000. Who knows? It might have been. Maybe it would have been 10,000. It wouldn't have been 1 million. It would not have been 1 million, I guarantee it. So had you got 10,000 more sales because of that piracy? Maybe you would. Maybe you would. But maybe you'll get 100,000 less sales because everyone hates your DRM. It's just the wrong way of thinking. It's the wrong way of thinking. Don't spend all that money on DRM. I mean, how much did they spend on that DRM for Assassin's Creed 2? I have to reckon 25% of the money I paid for that game went to pay for the ridiculous security system. Instead of making the game $60, make it $40. Make it $40, have it on Steam, make it easy. You'll probably get a hell of a lot more sales. You save all that money on security and people won't pirate the game. But there you go. Anyway, I'm tired and I am babbling. So... someone who pirates a game is someone who wouldn't buy the game in the first place. That's probably not exactly true. I think there's a range of pirating going on. Sometimes people pirate stuff just because they want to try it out. Sometimes they pirate it because they can't find it on... I mean, I'm just... the number of people I know who've pirated stuff because they just couldn't be bothered going out and buying a game. I mean, that's why I say Steam is like a godsend, because it's like, oh, well, it's just easy enough to get it from Steam. Sometimes people, I mean, in the old days, I used to pirate games that I'd bought. Why? Because I hated having the CD in the CD player. God, that was horrible. So you'd buy the game, you'd install it, and then you'd go online and you'd find a crack, so you didn't need the bloody CD. I mean, I guess that's not pirating the game, but it was using a crack to get around the security system. Because bloody hated the CD check. It's horrible. It's annoying. It's all about convenience. People pirate and use cracks and stuff like this for a variety of reasons. Some people do it because they literally cannot afford the game. And in those cases, you're actually not losing a sale anyway. It's just more complicated than that. But I'm not on the other side of this either. I'm not one of these people who says, oh, you should be able to pirate whatever you want. It doesn't hurt anyone, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I've got a family member, I'm not saying which one, who pretty much is convinced himself it doesn't hurt anyone when he copies software, because he would never have bought it anyway. When I ask him when the last piece of software he bought was, it was about 7 years ago. And I'm just calling BS on that. I'm calling BS on that. Because you would have bought some software. Had you not been copying it, you'd have bought some. Maybe not all the stuff you copied, but you would have bought some. I mean, for me, I always use the example of the video render software. There's no way I would spend money and buy Adobe Premiere Pro. At least, I'm not sure what it costs now, but back when I was looking at it, it cost about $2,500. There's no way I would have bought that. No way. But I needed video software that was better than the free one that came with Windows. So I bought Sony Vegas, not the Pro version, but the Sony Vegas was like $50. This was back when my channel had literally just started. And it was good enough, $50. And then I upgraded to Vegas Pro when I was thinking about doing, 60 frames a second or higher than 1920, that type of thing. So I upgraded, and that's $500. So I've now spent $550 on video rendering software. But I wouldn't have bought that had I copied Adobe Premiere Pro. If I'd have pirated that, using the excuse that I would never have bought it, that is true, I would never have bought it. But then I also wouldn't have bought Vegas, the 2 versions of Vegas I did. And Sony would have lost that money. And you could say, well, all right, so Sony lose the money, but not the person I'm pirating it from. It doesn't really matter. It's all about the grand scheme of things. You can't look at it. It's not that simple. So I'm not one of these people who thinks it's okay to pirate, and I'm not one of these people who think piracy is the evil of the planet. I think software needs a business model that works, and it's up to the software companies to come up with a software model that does work. And then, to my mind, what should actually happen is the consumer should decide if he is willing to enter into that business arrangement, and if not, should leave the software alone. If you don't like the business model of the software that's being offered to you, don't take them up on it. That's my opinion, and I'm not going to force it on anyone else. So I don't pirate just because I don't like someone's business model. I simply do not give them my business. That is how I do it. So, but at the same time, I think the companies should change their business models to be more up to date. So, how the hell did we get on this bloody subject? Come on, guys. Okay, I'm reading. There's more questions coming to me. This is turning into a Q&A session live, and I am actually falling asleep. It is 2 a.m. here, guys. I gotta go. Sorry about that. I'm utterly knackered. I could probably have played a Payday 2 mission and a half. It was kind of fun chatting to you guys, but I have got to go to bed. I gotta get up and sort the kids out in the morning. And it's the Brazilian Grand Prix qualifying in the afternoon. Looking forward to that, actually. That could be fun. It's going to be raining. So, anyway, I will see you guys fairly soon. Yes, go for podcast. So, good night.